Welcome to the fight game. He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and let's talk about Tazoo. He wins a 4-round fight against Joey Spencer yesterday, and he is calling out Keith Thurman. Now, I think this will be a good fight with Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman just came off a win last time we did a episode that we were trying to figure out who Keith Thurman could fight, because he was like the one time is back. So this, I think, I would look forward to seeing them fight. But we just talked in the pre-production show. Um, I don't think this is a pay-per-view fight. It could be under the undercard of a high-profile fight, but I would not pay any money to see these two fight, even though I want to see these two fight.
No, I get you. They're both in a place where they both want opportunities above what's going on right now. They want to be in the upper echelon again, which is going to be very difficult because Zoo had a number of losses in a row. Keith Thurman had fought for like 20 years and he finally returned. So I think it's a very good fight, a great match because they're both going after the same type of opportunities.
Mhm.
So, for instance, if whoever wins this might get a decent shot at something at 147. So who knows there? That might be a good thing. But in regards to like it being pay-per-view, I can see it being like on the zone where people already have it, but I just don't see where I'm gonna pay 79.99 to watch this fight. But maybe ESPN will pick it up or somebody. But
Or what would you say in our pre-production meeting?
CBS Sports Spectacular.
I haven't heard that. So,
For y'all that don't know what I just talked about, Google that, and then know that they used to have boxing on free TV, and they would wait. It would be like a 2 hour show, and they wait to the very end, and they let it go. Yeah, so it's like CBS Sports Spectacular, and you look at it, and they go through all these other secondary sports, and then at the end they show you boxing.
Yeah.
Live from Cobo Arena in Detroit, Michigan, Daniel Lalonde versus Sugar Ray Leonard.
Or I
Yes.
remember ABC Sports with the guy, the agony of defeat and
Yeah. Thrill of victory. Yeah. Yeah.
you got free fights on TV.
Right.
So I want to go into Jen Beck, who used to be trained by Buddy McGirt, and I don't think he's with Buddy McGirt anymore. But Jen Beck just won his fight. He defended his title, and it seemed like when he won a title, he dropped Buddy McGirt, or something happened. I haven't been able to contact Buddy McGirt to see what happened. Maybe when we have him on the show in the future, we can find out from him. You know, from the horse's mouth. But he's still going along. He's still kind of dominating fights, and he's still chugging along.
Yeah, and I think he's a very solid talent. I am interested to see what happened, why he moved forward. Maybe he thought just somebody, you never know what fighters, you never know why they may change in trainers or whatnot. But at least Buddy Berg got into a point where he was able to compete for a title, and he got it. And maybe it's type of one of those things where he goes, okay, we had a connection, we had a contract, and once you get me here, I'm gonna break you off so much, and then I'm gonna move on. That's a lot of times what happens. So I'm not sure what happened there, but he's a solid fighter. He's coming along. We need to get him in the ring with somebody though that matters, right? Because where is he? What is he fighting at right now?
I'm not sure where he's fighting. What weight class he's fighting in now. But I think probably middleweight. Yes, middleweight.
Okay.
He's the IBF and WBO middleweight um, champion.
So,
So at 159 and a half, that's where he's fighting at. And so, yeah, we'll see because like to me it sounded like people were avoiding fighting him because nobody really kind of knew of him, but people were kind of avoiding him because he's that guy. He's that guy. He could take you out.
yeah, and I think part of it is unknowns, and he's shown himself. But we need to get him in the ring with somebody of substance though, because I think you said if he's at 60, right?
Yeah, about 160.
And he's still he has the number was he at BWO?
The IBF and WBO middleweight titles.
So the way it goes for me, you could possibly say somebody like a Chris Eubanks Jr.
Yeah.
or I'm gonna even do one better. I like seeing him get in the ring, and this will really see where he's at. With Erislan D. Lara, yeah, who beat Danny Garcia, and still to be punching a veteran guy like that. You'd be able to. It'd be nice to be able to see him in there. But then again, it may not because of the fact that he's number one. You know, the ranking has not lost. But we need to. I guess my point is, I would like to see him improve his the type of talent that he's facing, because
What are
that
the
way you won't go ahead.
what are the chances of him moving up in weight in that 168 category and fighting some of the contenders and champions at that weight level?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too, but I mean, particularly if you get through 160. But the Caleb Plants of the world, guys like that. William Skull is fighting. I think he's a seventh ranked fighter right now in middleweight. So I'm sure there's some room for it. Truthfully, though, I would love to see him. There's a lot at 160, right? You can fight Jamal Charlo at 160. You could do some things like that. There's a few other challenges there I like to see him fight, but it's up to him. I mean, if it was me and you just won that title, I would kind of hang around 160 for a little bit. Because you go fishing at 168, you might find something you don't want to see. So,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
That's true. Speaking
you
of
know.
Charlo, Plant and Charlo are on the same card, I think May 31st, and they're talking about fighting after that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, we need to see that because even if it was hype with Plant at one somebody else's fight slapping Charlo, I think it's a natural born rivalry. I want to see that. I just want to see where they playing or were they really serious. And they both need a big fight. Jamal Charlo hasn't fought in a while since I think he fought Benavidez Jr., Dave Benavidez brother. I don't think he's fought since then. So he needs to win. He needs to fight. And we also know, his opponent, Caleb Plant, I think he won something, but he also didn't he get stopped or something
Yeah, he hasn't
recently?
been the
Or
same since the Canelo fight. In my,
right, 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 right. So with that being said, with Caleb Plant, I think we just wanted we could see something else. But yeah, I would like to see that fight. I like to see them both come back. I think that would be first as they're doing, get a tune-up fight and then meet in the fall. So I think that'll be good. And then the way that this boxing is slowly progressing, then maybe what we'll do is we'll hopefully get better fights because with these purses and all these other things, it just kind of makes you wonder, do these guys really want to fight? Because they're taking too long. Now they're getting old and then you want to give us something later on after the fact.
yeah. Speaking of contract negotiations, Zabata and Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson, they're going back and forth, um, haggling over how much money is going to be paid out in this fight. Your thoughts about this situation?
Yeah, I think it was Oscar De La Hoya and the Sheik Turkey came up and was trying to offer Shakur $3 million to fight William Zepeda. And Zepeda has defended his title, showed that he's ready. They keep saying that Shakur's scared, he's ducking him. But I really think it comes down to dollars and cents right now. So Shakur is saying he would get in the ring with him for between 5 and 8. And I don't think $5 million is really a bad estimate for that. At least five. And they want to say that Shakur's scared. And I think it's about his so-called brittle hands. But he knows when he gets in there, he'll be ready. I would love to see the fight. A lot of people think Zepeda would go right through him because of what he did in his last fight. But as they said, bring the $5 million and sign on the dotted line. Yeah, that's how, I mean, for real. I think Shakur would do it. He has no fear. It's almost no matter what he does, he's still gonna lose. So he's just gonna have to get in there and fight somebody like you know, Tank Davis, which I don't think he really wants either. So we need to see these guys fight. It's time to turn the notch up a little bit. Let's give us some quality fights. May 2nd gives us a little bit of that, but we need to get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, boxing is kind of in a lull right now. Not really big name fighters are fighting, and I think that's a problem for boxing. I really do. David Benavidez is calling Canelo out, saying, "Hey, this guy's scared. This guy's scared." And as far as Canelo in this camp, I mean, Benavidez has been talking about him for a long time. Just fight him and get it over with, and make some money while you're doing it. If you're not afraid of this guy, just get in the ring and let's do this.
Now, and I can see that viewpoint, but my problem with that a little bit is the fact that Benavidez had the opportunities twice when he was supposed to be the champion and he kind of wasted his opportunities for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Canelo is seeing him as not worthy of facing. And maybe, and I think that's why Benavidez is so. I think he really wants to fight Canelo very badly. It's almost like it's something that he needs to do, right, in his spirit. So I think that's the way he's trying to move forward. Became the mandatory for Bival's titles, one of his titles. And I think his WBO was trying to make it mandatory that he fights Benavidez next. But Bival's like, I do what I want to. You don't tell me what to do. I'm the guy. So
Right.
I think, I'll be the guy, better be, better be, I beat him. So, hey, he was the guy and I got him. Now, it'll be interesting. It probably won't happen this way. It'd be interesting to see if Benavidez will never do it, but I'd love to see him fight Benavidez. I like to see that fight, but he probably wouldn't do it because he's not the champion anymore. So I really believe, get back to the point, that Benavidez wants to fight Canelo, which is why he's taking this Bivol fight if he can get it. Because if he can grab all those belts and he goes, okay, sucker, talking to Canelo, that is, I got 4 belts. I'm undisputed right here, 168. Come see me. But you can't do that unless
You,
you fight Bivol. And there's no guarantee you're going to beat Bivol.
right. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, so I think he's trying to set it up because everything he's done now, you call him a coward, you call him all this other stuff, you call him whatever, cheap or whatever it is, but none of it has triggered Canelo go, yeah, all right, I'm gonna come over there and whoop your behind. So he's trying, I think, desperately to try to get his attention. But I think too that Canelo could go, I could retire and never get in the ring with you. And I think he might be because he says, I don't think you're on my level. You're not worthy.
Any other boxing news we should know about?
No, just hopefully we'll get through the fall and start to see some fights. We got the cards that are coming up on May. It's weird. So we got the card on May 2nd, right? Where you have Devin Haney fighting. Also, Rolly was on that card. Garcia, I think, as well. And so you have a number of people on there. And also, too, I think Teofimo Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the heart of New York City. So they're getting ready for that. I think also on the 3rd is where we'll see William Scone versus Canelo Alvarez. And then on the 4th in Las Vegas, the Monsters fighting in Las Vegas on that Sunday. So that's 4th. It's ironic though that only the Monsters fighting in Las Vegas on that Sunday. And you would think that, so that means the weekend will be open. And I thought somebody would take advantage of it, but we'll see how it plays out. But some fights coming up. We just need to see more. Boots Ennis, where are you? We need to see you in the ring with somebody. I also know that Gary Antoine Russell had possibly mentioned about calling out Shakur Stevenson. I think that'd be a great fight. But we just need these guys to stop playing around and jump into the ring with people that really matter and something that people can sink their teeth into and celebrate boxing. That's all they want. People want good fights.
Yeah, and my concern is that if boxing really doesn't, really get it together, we're going to have the entertainment fights take more precedent, and I don't want to see that. That's not, because people are so hungry for fights when they see the big name, whether or not it's I'm not even going to call their names, but I call them the entertainment fights, the spectacles. That's what's getting the attention now, and it's overshadowing boxing. You have it in MMA where every other week, there's something happening in MMA. Some of the big name fighters are fighting at least once a month or once every other month. But in boxing, it's just non-existent, and I think they take for granted that people will just be there anytime they sign up for a fight, and that's not always the case. If you're out of sight, out of mind, this society right now is, it's not reading novels. It's reading posts on social media. And that's all they want. That's all they care about. That's all they pay attention to. So if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So boxing, do better, please.
No doubt, I'm with you on that. I think the only thing is when you mentioned about these entertainment boxes, I wouldn't call it boxing, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
These events. And the one thing I know everybody was all pumped up and hyped up about the possibility of Mike Tyson versus Paul. That's all I'll say. It's Paul. And everybody hyped it up, and Netflix paid a bunch of money for that, and they weren't even really ready for the broadcast. But I'll say this. I saw one of the welterweight champions with a very similar name, major famous name, talking about fighting Paul. And Paul walks around at 190. This guy that I'm talking about can't even make 147 or so he can't. So how in the heck are you going to be able to get excited about a possibly 40-pound weight difference
Yeah.
and take that seriously? It is entertainment. And boxing fans need to stop acting like it's some grandiose event. It is an event, but it's not robot.
He's Icewater. I'm Puma, and this is a fight game.